What's up? What's up? Welcome back. We got another special treat. This is issue number 26, released October 7th through 20th of 1982. Look at the cover. We got Rush with Alex Lifeson. Look at that. Rush Kerrang. We got Genesis, Gillan, Bow Wow, Lemmy, The Who, Mark Bolan. Right? We got Free Inside giant colored posters featuring Rush and the Scorpions, The Runaways, and Diamond Head. I'm Tony, you're here at KGTR. Any questions, comments, or feedback, or requests, leave them below. Go ahead, click subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get to it. We're going to go through this magazine page by page. That's what we do. We're going over the magazines that you remember or you don't remember. You don't have to go out and buy them because we have them here. We have all the magazines you want. We're going to go through them page by page. So you don't have to buy them because I have them all. Any magazine you see, I probably already have it. That's just the way. I'm just joking. Alright, let's go ahead and open her up. We're going to go through this magazine. Oh, look. And Kerrang! Not for wimps. Remember you had Circus, Cream, and Hit Parader? Kerrang! Was a little bit more heavier. Based out of the UK, they focus mostly on the UK bands and the local bands, but they do cross over to some of the US heavy metal bands. Alright, let's go ahead and check this out. Alright, these are the top singles and albums and import albums and local charts from the official heavy metal charts, specially compiled for Kerrang! From a nationwide survey of 50 specialist shops in the UK. Right, again, Eye of the Tiger, Signals by Rush. Here we got Crazy Horses by Tank, Under the Blade by Twisted Sister, Rock in a Hard Place, Aerosmith. Look at Aldo Nova right here, Aldo Nova. Is that pretty cool? Right, Gary Moore, this is the one. Gary Moore, Quarters of Power. This album kicks ass. Featuring Ian Pace on drums, Neil Murray bass guitar, and Tommy Iyer on keyboards. Back on the Streets, Rockin' Every Night, Parasite Walkways. This album kicks ass. Corridors of Power. So if you haven't checked it out, check it on YouTube. Pretty much all the albums from most artists are on YouTube. Just type in Gary Moore, Quarters of Power, and listen to that album. It's incredible. Alright, look at this. He's a New World Man. Beautiful. Again, the Fender Stratocaster, red. This is with a metallic shiny silver plate right here, or a pickguard. So this is talks about Rush and Alex Lifeson right there. Pretty cool poster right there. And look at that. So what's this say? New World Man? Yeah. Oops. Sorry. I meant to do this. New World Man. So that was part of a poster. Look at this red headstock. Isn't that pretty cool? Yeah, some really amazing Stratocasters. Right? So back in 1982, Rush was pretty much on top of their game. So this talks about their success, their history, and their future projects and plans. Again, very, very small print. I can't go into it, but if you want me to, I'll be more than happy to read it out loud. Look at Neil Peart. May he rest in peace. Neil Peart, the driving force behind Rush. One of the most complex drummers out there. Oh, very good. Look at Cheetah. Again, I never heard of Cheetah. What's this, a two-band heavy metal band? Look, the Rock and Roll Women, Saxon. Let me know about Cheetah. I never heard of Cheetah. Mayhem. These are the ins and outs, the latest buzz, Billy Squier video, and pick discs to be won. Alright, so this is the Bad Boys of Rock and Roll. Hanoi Rocks. We love Hanoi Rocks. Oh, look at this beautiful guitar right here. Look. Isn't that beautiful? Look at Lita Ford. This guitar I love. I love this guitar. One day I'll get one like this by Firefly. You can buy these replica guitars by Firefly, and you just want the shape. You don't need the guitar. I'm not going to spend $2, $3, $4 grand for this guitar, but I can get it for like $220 from Firefly. So again, this is the latest buzz from Ted Nugent, Joan Jett, I can't read that, Sammy Hagar, Rob Halford, Pat Benatar. So that's pretty cool, right? The latest buzz. Look at ABBA, Dangerous, Diamond Head, Budgie. Again, all these UK bands. Billy Squier, Emotions, another big album for Billy Squier. So pretty much 82, 83 was the highest Billy Squier would get on the charts. And then he would fizzle around 84, 85. So it's just good to look back. He was pretty big in the early 80s. The Hatchet Job, Getty's Takeoff, Petaric's No Stranger, Going Once, Going Twice, Asia Major, look at Asia. Lizzie, discography. Alright, Cuts, look at Twisted Sister. Little do they know, they're paying their dues right now. A lot of these bands pay their dues until they get big. It just takes that one hit or that one album with the, like I say, it's perfect timing. Remember Quiet Riot was around with Randy Rhoads back in 77, 78. They released 2 albums in Japan. Eddie Van Halen released their album in 78. Van Halen skyrockets to the stratosphere. Quiet Riot released 2 pretty much crappy albums that no one heard of. I'm not saying they were crappy albums, but they weren't Van Halen 1 albums. And when it took from 1978 to 1983 for Quiet Riot to release that one album, Mental Health, to blow up. Same with Def Leppard. They released a couple of albums. They're pretty good. Pyromania comes out, boom. Same with Motley Crue, all 1983. Too Fast to Love, whatever the first album was, whatever it's called. But Shout Out the Devil, Stratosphere. So perfect timing, right label. It's all timing. Look at Twisted Sister, Under the Blade. Pretty good album. Not great. Look at Gillan Magic. See, he's everywhere. Gillan is everywhere. Again, this is Budgie. Look at Budgie. I never heard of Budgie. No, look, see, I can't read this. It's too small. The new ear spank from Tank at our price. Let me know what you thought about the band Tank. I've never heard of Tank. Now look, here's a Bow Wow guitarist, Kiyoji Yamamoto. Right? What guitar would you say this is, if you had to ask? What guitar would you say this? I can't tell by the headstock, right? It's not a Gibson. Could it be a Carbon, a Yamaha? It's got a tremolo bar. I don't know if it has fine tuner. Yeah, look, it's got a Floyd Rose here. So he probably added this to himself later. But it's not a Floyd Rose bar. But look, this could be a Kaler. I don't know. But look, here is a... remember Rocktron? I think it was Rocktron. There was another German vibrato bar company. I forgot what the damn name of it was called. But look, this is not a Floyd Rose bar. So, but it's a weird bar. But it looks like locking tremolos right here. Locking nuts right there. Fine tuners right there. And there's a Floyd Rose. So maybe it's a Floyd Rose. But what kind of guitar is this? Let me know. Get a Bad Reputation. Look at Joan Jett. Bad Reputation. Again, this is all Europe. We're not a bunch of old farts. Toto's Man, Shock Claim. Alright, here's Toto. Rosanna. That came out, 82, 83? Blew them up. Where Art Thou, Runaways, or Sodom on Sunset? The Runaways are big in the late 70s. Here they are back in 82. There they are right there. The Runaways. Rock On Tommy, the Tommy Bolin story. Let me know what you thought about Tommy Bolin. Did you like him as a guitar player? Let me know. Again, the Tommy Bolin story. There he is. Tommy Bolin. Did you like it? Look, isn't that pretty cool? He's got a Stratocaster with a Telecaster neck. That's pretty interesting. I haven't seen that. Again, people like to be different. A Stratocaster with a Telecaster neck. Pretty cool. Look at Tommy Bolin. The Tommy Bolin story. Again, more Tommy Bolin. Isn't that pretty cool? What the well-dressed maniac is wearing. Lemmy, look at Lemmy. Diamond Head Forever. Again, there's the Gibson Les Paul with the DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups right here. Look at the DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. Pretty cool, right? Diamond Head. Chris Welch from Diamond Head. I never heard of Diamond Head, and I haven't heard their music. I can't knock them, I just never heard of them. Look at Sammy Hagar, the very best of Sammy Hagar. Red, Cruising and Boozing, Turn Up the Music, Reckless. I don't know any of these songs. Urban Gorilla, I don't know any of this. I do know he did Fast Time at Ridgemont High, and then I think around 83, 84 he did 1, 2, 3 lockbox, and I Can't Drive 55. Eventually blew up. But I don't know these bands right here. I don't know those songs. Right? Gillan, again. Gillan is everywhere. Notice that? Almost every issue has Gillan. Spider. Let me know about the band Spider. Did you remember Spider? Did you ever hear Spider? Right? Concerts. Upcoming concerts. What we got here? We got Girl School. Tigers of Pantang. Tigers of Poontang. Remember Tigers of Pantang? Right? The Who. Saxon. Upcoming concerts. Neat and Today. Kilowatt. W.C. Fields. Alrighty. The singles. We got Magnum. Billy Squire. Battle Axe. Budgie. Frankie Miller. Stone Child. I don't know what that is. Rod. Royd. The Runaways. More on the Runaways. Remember the Runaways? Classifieds. We're going to have pen pals here, right? More advertisements right there. We're almost done with this issue. Look at Mark Bolan. Again, let me know your thoughts on Mark Bolan. What do you remember about Mark Bolan? Alright, look at Lemmy and Wendy O. Y&T on the album. Y&T on the road. And special guest of AC/DC. That's pretty good lineup, right? Y&T opening up for AC/DC. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, look at Pete Townsend. Back then, I hated the Telecaster. Now I love the Telecaster. But here's Pete Townsend of The Who. Birmingham, 11/9/82. That's when they had their reunion tour. 1982. It was also on MTV. Eminence Front and all that. The show that never stops. Pretty cool, right? Alright, we're almost done with this issue. Look at the Hammer Guitars. Guitar Grapevine. Letters to the Editor. And there is the last page of this issue featuring Genesis. Look at Genesis right there. Right? So that was the issue with Alex Lifeson on the number 26 issue, October 7th through the 20th, released in 1982. Let me know what your thoughts on Mark Bolan, Gillan, Tommy Bolan. Let me know about Mark Bolan and Tommy Bolan. What do you remember about them? Alright, I'm Tony. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this issue of Kerrang! Featuring Rush, where we go page by page with all your vintage guitar magazines and heavy metal magazines. I'm giving you the best of 80s metal as best I can with your help and with your support. Thank you all for joining me, hanging out with me. I figure this series allows me to talk to you guys one-on-one, as opposed to me just showing you, here's how to play, which there's a gazillion videos of. Here's how to play, a gazillion videos of people doing the same songs, the same lessons, the same licks. You don't get to know the personality. This way, you get to interact with me and see the real Alright, and this way you see more of me. Alright, and I see more of you. So thanks everybody for joining me on these vintage magazine reviews. I think it's great because, again, we're preserving history. We're sharing these magazines that many of you remember, many of you don't remember, and so they're not lost forever. We're going to preserve them in time on video by going through them page by page so that you can see what these magazines had in that heavy metal era of the 80s, because I love 80s metal, and you do too. That's why you're here with me. Alright, thanks everybody. I'll see you folks in the next video.